Millennials, they are so politically correct, they're starting to oppose free speech. Look at this. A new poll finds 40% of millennials oppose what they deem offensive free speech. Listen to what Charlie Kirk had to say about that.
It's this whole idea that, well, I'm offended by this. No. It's this generation that we've created that you should be silenced, not because I'm offended, but because you disagree. And that is scary, and that is alarming for a generation to be growing up in that kind of a culture.
That's right, Cheryl. Shut up because I don't agree with you.
Well, we've been seeing this for years now. This has been a growing movement with the youth, in that it's the politically correct way to live your life. And they want to shut down anyone who says anything politically incorrect. But that's freedom of speech.
Of course
you can disagree with me, but don't silence me. I have a right to my opinion, whether you like it or not. That's the beauty of America. And we still have the most free speech around. If you look at the entire world right now, we are number one when it comes to freedom of speech. This country still wins.
We must not forget it. You solve problems by free and open discussion of different points of view.
Correct.
You cannot throw up your hands and say, I don't like what you're saying. I can't bear to listen to it. You can't do that.
You seem to take that as like that they're weak and they're afraid to maybe debate maybe a little bit. I don't know.
I mean that.
Maybe that
yes.
generation of millennials is too sensitive.
You are so sensitive that I can't express my opinion because it might disagree with your opinion, and that's an American university today?
Maybe because these are the kids that when they were 10 years old, they all got a trophy, whether they won or lost the race. Everybody gets a ribbon.
Sarcasm is a low form of wit, but you're absolutely right.
It's right.
Well said, Cheryl.
You bet.
Listen to this one.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, listen up, everybody. The FCC allegedly failed to collect more than $100 million worth of penalties imposed on companies that defrauded the Obamaphone. Remember that one? Gillian Melcher, National Review, all over this story. Let me repeat this. Make sure I got it right. Obamaphone comes out, $100 million worth of fraud in the system.
Fines for fraud.
Fines for fraud in the system. So the government goes after various companies and says, give us the money back.
Yep.
And they got nothing?
They get nothing for it. There's so much red tape around collecting fines, collecting fees. But we're talking about a program where waste and fraud and abuse are fundamentally built into the infrastructure of this program. There's huge incentive for companies to do it, and they're getting away with it with impunity. This shows it.
Which is the biggest company that is guilty of this kind of fraud and where a fine or penalty was imposed?
Well, there are a lot of them, but I think the biggest recipient of this program has been TracFone. It's owned by Carlos Slim. He's a Mexican billionaire, one of the richest people in the world. But it trickles all the way down. I mean, there's one company that I was looking at, $52 million in revenue, has been repeatedly caught defrauding the program. I spoke to one of the employees who was telling me that he was being trained to forge signatures, to falsify information. He's getting $3 for every phone he hangs out. The phone company is getting $9.25 every single month from companies that they do it. They get slapped with a $1 million fee that who knows if they pay. I don't think they're going to change their behavior.
So it's unqualified people getting these phones.
Yeah.
Phone companies and agents reaping in the money.
Yes.
They're penalized for doing what they're doing, and they don't pay.
Yes.
And Carlos Slim, any idea how much he has made out of this program, Obamaphones?
Well, the year that I got 3 Obamaphones without even qualifying for one of them.
You did? I didn't know that.
I did, yeah.
You just tried to
showed up and they hand them out on the street. You sign up for it. They didn't check any of my identification, didn't check my welfare eligibility. And I got 3 free phones in the mail, even though with my income, I could have had a family of like 6 or 7 and not been eligible. And I think this is what's so frustrating about this is it shows the intractability of these federal programs. I mean, waste, fraud, abuse, story comes out about this, and the Obama administration wants to expand the program.
So the program, Obamaphones, still in place.
Oh, yeah.
It's not gone away. It's not been dissolved and walked away from. They want to expand it?
They're talking about expanding it to include broadband. And every time one of these stories comes out, we hear the FCC saying, oh, we're reforming it. We're taking all these steps. No, this is a program that is fundamentally full of waste, fraud, and abuse, and it needs to be eliminated. We're paying for it.
You're going to get me back to Carlos Slim. One of the richest guys in the world.
Yes.
Second or third, I think he is. How much did he get? How much did TracFone was his company?
TracFone's his company.
What was their revenue from Obamaphone?
In a single year, it was $500 million. We're talking about this program, $2.2 billion under the Obama administration in a single year. It's dropped down to about $1.7 billion this year. But this is an incredible boondoggle. We're all paying for it. If you look at your phone bill, there's a universal service fund fee. That's your money going to fund this program every month.
That's right. I was looking at my phone bill.
Yes.
Not too long ago, and I could not explain that little. Is the last line, I think it is, and it's a tax.
Yes.
And I pay it every single phone bill that I ever get. That funds Obamaphones.
Yes. That's what's subsidizing it. You are paying the phone companies to run this program that they're making a ton of money off of. Giving phones to people who don't deserve it. And it works for the street-level vendor to make money off it. It works for the corporations to make money off of it. This is a welfare program that began for the poor and has become corporate welfare.
Now, they want to expand it. As I understand it, they want to expand it to free internet.
Yes.
That's accurate?
Yeah, free broadband service. People are pushing back. But I don't think it's frankly going to work because this is a Democrat-controlled FCC. This is the Obama administration, which has taken step after step after step to expand welfare. I just don't see them showing restraint. This is, if all the programs in government, this is one of the repeat worst offenders.
The rationale for the Obamaphone at first was, well, you need a phone so you can apply for a job.
Yeah.
And so people who need to apply for a job need a phone, give them an Obamaphone.
Yeah, well, this was back in like the 1980s when we're talking about landlines, which are much harder to duplicate. But it's called the Obamaphone program because in the Obama administration, we saw way more people get on welfare. We saw how much this program costs taxpayers double. We're talking billions of dollars a year for this. And then it's expanding. So I think the Obama administration needs to take responsibility for it. This is a problem we know about, and they're not fixing it.
I'm going to hold you up for just 1 second.
Okay.
Viewers, if you see on the left-hand side of your screen, that is the podium. President of the United States will approach that podium shortly, not exactly sure when. He has been meeting with his national security advisors this morning. When he comes out of that meeting, he will go to that podium and he will make a statement. This could be very important. The president has come under a great deal of pressure after his statements yesterday with Francois Hollande, where the president actually said that the big rebuke to terrorism would be the Paris Climate Change Conference. So he's going to come back after that meeting with national security advisors, approach that podium and make a statement. General McInerney, I believe you're still with me?
Yes, I am, Stuart.
This could be the president changing course a little. That's possible, isn't it, General?
Well, I think it's possible, but I do not think it's likely. I would like to see that, but I've had too many disappointments in the past. The fact is the American people now are realizing that this president is not serious about destroying ISIS. So hope is not a strategy, Stuart.
I should tell you, General, that when the president is about to appear, media operations like ourselves, we get a 2-minute warning. We received the 2-minute warning a couple of minutes ago, and then that 2-minute warning was cancelled. So I don't know the precise status of when the president will approach that podium. I hear something going on in the background that may be an announcement in the press room right there. I'm not sure about that, but we are expecting the president momentarily. General McInerney, if he were to make any change, presumably it would be about American military support of France in Middle East fighting ISIS. If he makes a change, that would be where the change would occur, correct?
That's correct. And if he would change the rules of engagement to be in accordance with the international laws of armed conflict, Stuart, then that would be a major move forward. But he has put handcuffs on our asymmetric advantage, which is air power, precision air power. We have flown 8,000 sorties in 16 months. The Russians have flown 4,000 sorties in 2 months. And they are using the laws of international armed conflict. And that's why they have been more effective than we have.
Now, that would be the rules of engagement. That's where we fly 100 sorties and only drop bombs on 25 occasions. The rest, the 75 planes come back. You think there could possibly be, if we're going to make a change, the change could be there?
Well, and if it is, then I approve it. Again, the question is, will he go after the right targets? Because there's been a lot of kabuki on that, throwing out a lot of numbers like we're doing well. But a lot of those targets that we have hit have been empty factories, empty buildings, etc. It looks good from a bomb damage assessment, but if there's nothing in it, Stuart, we're hitting nothing.
General, could I ask you to hold on there for 1 second?